Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And now Jackson will look to throw it on the move to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the lead. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Atlanta now. Coming out on the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Black 40. Watch a slant, watch a slant.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from taking the lead in this Super Bowl. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. Shakes off the sack. There he goes right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson dancing to his left. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end. They'll set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Jackson. Flushed out right. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman, 35 yards. And the Ravens have broken the tie. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins. And he'll get into the end zone. That gives his guys an 8-point lead. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Ritter to throw it. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's knocked to the turf right there at the 46-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. He's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get...
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson. Buying time to his left. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Their entire offense has been centered on him, and he's been carrying the load with ease. 100 yards rushing in a game for a quarterback is rare. In a single half, darn near a masterpiece.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Jackson on first down, rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Takes him off. And he's going to be brought down on what'll be the final play of this first quarter. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. It's the Ravens out in front. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant. I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Jackson running again. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've first and goal.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Again, it's Hill. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play.
Got a man, it's caught down. Isaiah Likely from a yard out. And the Ravens continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion. That's caught, and they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too... And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss. Arnold Ebiketie. He's the one who's going to get credit for the sack, and he, like the rest of us, have to be saying, okay. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Jackson. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he's wrangled down right at the 45, but they're into enemy territory. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3.
Down the numbers. There he goes. 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives. They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Back to the air on second down. Here's Ritter again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions. That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews taking it in. And the Ravens are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they just went 4 verts there against cover 2, didn't they?
They did, and it's really an excellent route versus cover 2, because the longer it develops, the more stress is put on the safeties, because they're the ones back, each with half the field responsibilities. The corners don't retreat very far in cover 2. They're closer to the line of scrimmage, so now you've got 4 receivers putting pressure on 2 guys covering. Usually you'll find someone open, and that's exactly what they did there. Made the catch and carried it all the way into the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 25-yard line. Forced out to his left. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll try the draw here with Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Edwards. Diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for two. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins. They are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for two more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Going play action. Ritter. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Roquan Smith coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. They'll throw now on the final play. And now here is another interception. Fighting his way through contact.
Oh!
Still going. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.